Hey everyone, Paul Wickey here, Wicked Barbecue. Getting a lot of questions regarding pork butt, pulled pork. I tell you what, I was a little nervous when I first did mine, but I've done a few now and they're really not that hard. It's like the dark meat of chicken. It's really hard to mess up. So I'm going to show you, I got a maybe just under 7-pound pork shoulder that I'm doing today. And if you follow these simple steps, they are easy, you will have great pork every time. Great pulled pork every time. So stay tuned, watch closely, and here we go. Okay, pulled pork, everybody loves it. I just got a small one I'm doing today. There's not a very big fat cap, and you can do a pork butt any way you like. You can either trim the fat or you can score it, and when you score it, you go down to the meat and crisscross it, and I'll show you how to do that. But that's what I'm going to do with this today. There's not a whole lot of fat on it. It's just under 7 pounds, so it's not going to take extremely long, but it'll be really good. I'll show you how I score it. I'll start like this, and you make sure you go clear to the meat. You don't want to go too deep. See that? I don't know if you can see that or not, and I'll do that all the way around the top here into that thick part. And like I say, you want to go at least to the meat. So the seasoning can go down to the meat, and you go across the other way. Be careful, obviously, when you're cutting, so you don't cut yourself. That's all I do to score it, and it does. And then I check it again, to make sure I get down to the meat in some of these spots. But it's really not that hard. Don't overthink it, because it's not a big deal. So that's scored. Now it's time to season that baby up. Okay, when you season this thing, and I don't use any binders. Some people do, I do not. When you season this thing, you need to be as liberal as you can with it. And I use, if you know me long enough, Code 3 spices. This isn't a Code 3 spice container, obviously, because I buy it in bulk. But Code 3 Spice 5.0 rub is phenomenal. And I'm just telling you, you just shake this stuff. Don't be shy at all. Shake this all over the top, the sides, the edges. Work it down into those crevices there, and when that cooks, oh my. Yeah, and the color on this thing will be phenomenal. Kind of push it down on there so when I flip it, it won't come off as much. Get the side here. Oh, the sun came out. Hopefully it didn't mess up the picture. You can see how liberal I'm being with it. I mean, you won't regret it, trust me. And obviously you can use your own rub, any kind of rub you want, but my favorite is Code 3 Spice 5.0. Look them up, because their stuff is phenomenal, including their barbecue sauce, their Patriot sauce. They have a mild and a kind of a spicy one. So, very good stuff. But again, a pork butt, don't overthink a pork butt. Seriously, it's kind of like dark meat of chicken. It's really hard to screw up. And I always cook the fat cap up. Some people do fat cap down, some do up. They all have their reasons for doing it. My reason is I like to let that fat render down and juices keep flowing all the way around that thing. So look at that beauty. All right, the probe is in. The smoker, the Pit Boss Austin XL is up to temp. And I'll tell you what, if you're on the fence of what to get smoker-wise, pellet smoker-wise, you'll love the Austin XL. Decent price and does some phenomenal work. So give that a look before you pull the trigger on anything. Okay, I got the pork butt on the Austin XL, and I'll leave it on there for, well, several hours. But every hour or so I'll spritz it with an apple cider vinegar and water mixture. Or you can use apple juice. I do that just to help it gain a little more smoke, keep the meat moist. It does some good things. And then when the internal temperature reaches 160, 162, anywhere in there, I wrap the pork butt, and I will show you how I wrap it. A lot of people do some different things, and so I'll just show you what I do. But my pork butt always comes out really good, so I think you'll like it. So stay tuned. Okay, the pork butt is at 161, so I'm going to take it off, and excuse the pool play noises behind me. But this is a smaller butt, so I can just use these tongs. But here's where I put it in a foil pan, and I'll cover it with foil, and then I'll add some of this. And this is a simple ingredient of a 1/3 cup of rum, spiced rum, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and a stick of butter. And I won't put the whole thing in there, but I will put maybe about half of it. Pour it over the top. Then I save the rest for when this pork butt is done. Now I'll cover it, put it back in the smoker until the internal temperature reaches 200 to 205. And once you get that buttery feeling in your meat where it just goes through like butter, so then you'll be good to go. So stay tuned. All right, temp was up to about 203, and as you can see, the bone pulls out real nice and easy when you get up to that temp, so that shouldn't be a problem. Zero meat on that bone. And now the next thing you do is just start pulling it, putting it into a pan, and making sure, I like to make sure I don't get the gristle and the grease in a bunch of this, but as you can see, it's coming apart pretty easy. So we'll pull that, and we'll let you know what it looks like when I'm all done. Okay, the sun is going down, but I'm telling you, this turned out fabulous. Follows the directions. Wow.